as always, I cannot put a used lot into my collection without trying to build at least something first. Now, you saw that I tried to build these things like that. Yeah, that was an epic failure. So I built the 2 lots that I could build really quickly, and one of them, of course, is the 885. What's that called again? Space Scooter, and the TriStar Voyager 6846. So 885 and the 6846. Now, I have history with the 6846. The 885 I actually never built until, I don't know, recently. I got a few over there, like one right there. But look how good that logo is. So on this one specifically, one wing plate, obviously. The 1x4 lattice railing, what do you want to call it? The 2 blue, red, trans red, not trans blue, 2 1x1 round bricks. I will not put trans blue. It's red. And then the 2 1x1 plates, trans red. Other than that, oh yeah, to complete the minifig face, head, and the air tanks, because I had the torso and helmet. So done. Hey, got another one. Put it over here, right on top. This guy, I had to rebuild because it is still one of my most favorite little sets. Also, my voice is gone, and I have no water. Excuse me. And I think it's because I have history with this thing. I remember buying this in the store specifically for the movie, because we needed a spaceship that could come apart after it got blown up by the bad guy. So like a littler ship could like fly away and get back to warn the others. And so that's why I purposely bought this set for that scene at the beginning of the movie. And of course, we filmed it blowing up. We used flash paper and paper burning, and we completely melted this thing and realized that we didn't press record on the camera. I didn't get recorded. So it ruined the set. Now, I remember keeping the pieces for the longest time after the movie, and so this thing was together. The transred antenna was melted. Like, I can't remember if we just stuffed one half of this thing with flash paper, and so this was melted. This piece was melted. This part was melted. I'm not even sure if this is piece here that's all yellowed. I think that's from something else. But I kept that set together for the longest time with the melted pieces, and I have no idea where it is. But so the 6890 comes apart, the little ship, and then the little scooter goes inside, and then the thing flops down, and you can fly away. So it's a 2-piece ship. This thing was a 2-piece ship that came out a few years later, and of course the wings fold down like that, and then this thing comes out, and all of a sudden you got this little scooter guy. Now, a few things. I was missing. I only had 2 rocket 1x1 round bricks with rocket fins on it. You need 3. I filled up a half a Pick-a-Brick cup one time at the Lego store at Sherway Gardens, because it had like this 1x1 with rocket fins in white, and I filled it up just because of this set, because I said I'll use them sometime. So I got 100 of them over there, so, or whatever, 50, 100. I filled it up to the brim because half of it, because I said I'm going to use those at some point. The other thing is, this is the one set. I think there might be another one, but this is the one set where you have the 1x1 plate with this little offset vertical stud. That's the type 1, so it's really, really thin. You can see it's the thin one. It has to be the thin one for this set to work. It has to be. You cannot put the thick one in here, because these 1x1 transred tiles have to fit flush with the back, or else these wings will not fold up. So these wings interface with the 1x1. Let's see if you can see underneath there. The 1x1 red tiles. And if you use the thick 1x1 plate with the round stud on the side, vertical, the tiles are too far back and the wings will not fold up. There's negative interference, or whatever the interference they called it. So you need the original Type 1 thin ones in blue for this set to work. You can't just get the thick Type 2 or 3 1x1 with the offset stud vertical. It won't work. just giving you a heads up. So anyway, other than that, I mean, this thing comes with a lot of cool pieces, straight up. The rockets, the 1x1 rockets, the trans red antennas, the 5 of these blue wing pieces, 2 white ones, a lot of modified plates, 2 blue guns, 2 white guns, megaphones. It's a cool looking set. Really, I always thought this was one of the coolest sets that they ever put out for the size of the, this is what they would call a tiny set, or a small, not even mid-range set, but it's a small one. The other thing that's really cool is just even putting the 1x2 jumper plate on the middle here and putting the trans red 1x1 round pieces on it. Like, I think this is the first set that did it. No, they did it a ton of times afterwards, but this, I think, is the first time they did that. Even this 1x4 with offset studs, there's hardly, I mean, there's some 1x plates and 2x plates in here, but it's mostly fantastic pieces for such a small, tiny set. And it looks good. It really did. I really enjoyed this being in the opening scene of the movie until we didn't have it in the movie. I mean, we replaced it with the Gamma 5, so we had to really go to the Gamma 5 is just an echelon into and of itself, the Gamma 5. But we had to replace this guy with the Gamma 5. That's how important this thing is. This is how awesome this thing is. We couldn't just go over and get a 6890. No. We had to replace this guy after we really busted him up with a Gamma 5 for the movie. That's the only thing I could possibly replace this guy. Anyway, so this is me droning on about the stuff that nobody cares about. So in the end, to complete this, the parts that I needed, I had the white guns. I had 1 blue gun. I had to go get another blue gun from I had to get both 2x2 round plates. I had 2 of the 5 wing plates. I had to go get 3 more. I had to get both trans red. I had to get all the trans red for this thing out of the collection. Both white here. 1 hinge brick. I had 1 in here. Both 1x3 slopes came in the lot. The 1x4 plates came in a lot. The 2x4 plates came in a lot. The 2x6 and 8 I had to get from the collection. The 1x6s came in a lot. The wing plate obviously came in a lot. The minifig, I had to get the tank, the face, and the helmet out of my collection. So, and the 2 antennas I had to get out of my collection. 3 of the 4 1x1 round bricks that hold this thing I had to get out of my collection. Only 1 came in the lot. So we're talking about a dozen pieces or more. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. As I said, I'm not going to bother with the Seismologic vehicle because I don't have the balloon tires. Now, I'm sure I have balloon tires, but they're not in the bin. As I say, I reconstituted like 15 6880s, and that's probably where they were. I was thinking about this just the other day, and no, I'm not going to, but I was going to see if I could build from scratch, just by going to get parts out of my collection, the uranium search vehicle. But now that I realize I have 0 balloon tires, I'm not going to build a uranium search vehicle. And so I have another thought I'm going to do, another vehicle I want to try building because I haven't built one in such a long time. And it's not the rocket launcher because, I've built a few of those. But it's another one that's comparable to the rocket launcher. And I am very, very intrigued now that I got the trans red antennas, because you saw that I ordered a bunch and I got a bunch. I'm going to try building something else straight out of my collection to see if I can actually finish it, to see if I'm missing parts and pieces. But I'm looking forward to that because it is also a wonderful set. The other thing I wanted to show you is in this collection, in this lot, I have this piece. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let's see if I can get it to zoom in on that. So I don't know. you might be able to see, I don't know how people do this. Can I zoom in like this thing? Nope. I was hoping I could like zoom in. Nope, not what it's filming. But it is the original 1960s, well, not the original, but the logo before ours, 2x4 plate. This is going to go into my early, maybe you can see it there with the light on it. It's going to go into my early bin, 60s bin. I was pleasantly surprised to find this. I mean, this is kind of an era in the mid 70s with all the maxi figs in it, but this piece is from the late 60s and early 70s. So that's going to go into my early bin. I haven't found anything else like that. I don't know if you can see the difference between the two. I always like this kind of stuff. Get the light on it. Oh man, this thing just doesn't want to focus. Anyway, it's trust me on it. Trust me, bro. It's gonna go into my early bin, which is right over there. So when I find these older pieces, like pre-1975 and 1974, they go into my early bin just in case I want to build something else from that era. But other than that, 1x2 trans green. That's why I thought there was an X1 in here. Obviously, I was wrong. Other than that, I am not going to worry about the seismologic vehicle, and I'm not going to worry about this guy at all. And this guy, I was thinking about the little thing, but I have literally nothing else. Maybe this, but that's it. There is no steering wheel. There's no skis or whatever, thrusters in the bottom. I literally have no black thrusters. Like there's nothing else in this lot that will go with this piece. And again, I also mentioned the claws, which I do not have a lot of. So I'm not going to worry about that. I got another inverted 2x3 brick or slope, which I always run out of because, you know, I like using them everywhere. So I got one. Can't complain about that. And yeah, so I was going to try to rebuild the Technic set, but I only have one axle and one gear. So that is completely out of the question. It has the original friction pins, not pens, the original friction pins. I have a bin of those because again, I bought my own sets back then as well, getting used lots instead of the new friction pins. The old friction pins hold a lot tighter, but they are harder to take apart, so that's why they changed it. But it's nice to have a few, and I have one walkie-talkie. Yay! So anyway, that's it. That's all. Nice short video-ish for a change. Let me just get these things here and there, and happy. That's worth $25 right there, just those two sets for me. Complete. And I'll put them in Ziplocs and they'll go into the totes. And one day, I tell you, one day you'll rule the day. One day I'm actually going to get all these things into a big show. I was actually thinking about that the other day, where I thought I would not do everything in one show, but do Classic Space in one show and then Space Police 1 in one show and blah, blah, blah. And like, because I got, I think 3 or 4 totes out there of just Classic Space. And what's in here and what's in the layout. And then each other tote is a mixture of Futuron, Blacktron, blah, blah, blah. I try to keep them semi-organized. But Classic Space being 3 or 4 totes, that'll take up a lot of space on a table. And again, it's fun to think about, ruminate on, and if it ever happens, it'd be good to see. But in the end, I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing, which means I'm going to say goodbye now. Goodbye. I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe.